What's up guys, welcome back to another video, and as promised we are working on the Ciao engine again. It's been a very long time, but we're gonna make it work again. If you are following with the previous Ciao videos, you will know that I still have a leak in my cylinder head, especially with the decompression valve. Now this system, I really hate this system. Why put a hole in your combustion chamber to let air escape? It is so stupid, but we have to work with it because it is a Ciao engine. Now the previous problem that I had is that I used the old decompression valve on a new cylinder head. I ordered one from JMPB Parts. It was the wrong one, my mistake, but they sent me the correct one, and this one should work. Now I already did some work on this at home. I will show you the footage right now. I got the new decompression valve out of the package, fresh and brand new. I put some valve grinding paste on it and I started grinding the valve to the cylinder head. I did it many times over and over, cleaning it, applying more paste, rotating it, doing all that stuff. And here we are now. This decompression valve should be grinded away to perfection with the cylinder head. Will it seal up? I'm pretty skeptical about this because, as I can see from the decompression valve, it looks pretty smooth. It's changed shape, so it is adapted to the cylinder head, but I don't see a clear edge on the cylinder head. On the decompression valve I can see one shiny new metal. On the cylinder head I don't see shiny metal. So before I reinstall everything, I just want to hit it with some metal compound and see if I can make it better. Now I don't know if this is gonna work, probably not. So I'm just gonna put some metal polishing compound on the part, put it in, just take a drill. It appears that it's doing something, but I'm gonna repeat this process for a while and see if we can make it better. And that is gonna be the best I can do. When I did it with the valve grinding compound, I must have repeated it like 15 times. And that is the best I can do. Now I'm gonna clean it all off, degrease it, whatever. Make sure there's no compound left. And then we can reinstall it and see if we can build up compression. Now, well, we can build up compression if our leak down test is totally sealed. So we will see. So the cylinder head and the decompression valve are totally clean right now. So it's time to put this back together and do our leak down test. Now it's pretty easy to put in a decompression valve. Just sit it in there, make sure it's all nice and flat, no pieces of metal between them. Then take this small washer, put it over there, put in the spring, the other washer. Now comes the tricky part. You need to put this on here, put this retainer on there, push it all down, and then you have to put this part in it. So it's a little bit tricky getting everything aligned and making it fit. To make your life a little bit easy, put a rack under there so the decompression valve doesn't totally fall down. And that's it. This is how it should look. Decompression valve is in there. Now let's take our engine. Gasket is already sitting on there. Put on the cylinder head. Push it down. Don't forget your special little washer for your decompression cable. Making sure everything still works. I'm gonna put a little dab of oil on the spring. Okay, now let's torque it down. Okay. Now before I want to put in the spark plug and start my leak down test, I want to check if the piston is completely down. That should be it. Because if I do my leak down test with the piston up, it won't affect the decompression valve. So yeah, now let's get our spark plug. Okay, and now our engine is complete. Now let's get our leak down tester. The plug is still in the exhaust port. This is the intake port. I'm gonna do a prediction. It's not gonna be sealed, or at least not 100%. I will be surprised if it's totally sealed. Let's put the pump on here and the gauge connected to our engine. Valve is closed, and now let's see. As I expected, nothing changed. I really don't understand it, why it doesn't seal up. I did everything that I should have done, grinded away, polished it, did everything. Now at this point I have to be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in this engine. Why doesn't it seal up? I did everything. I used valve grinding compound, I used polishing compound, I spent an hour grinding away these valves to make it sit even with the cylinder head, and still the engine isn't leak proof. Ask any serious engine builder or mechanic or whatever and tell them you have a leak in your decompression valve. They will say the engine is no good, it will lose power. But what can I do? There's nothing else I can think of except for welding it shut, but then I cannot start the bike because the clutch doesn't kick in as much to turn the engine over. It's not like with a kickstart. At this point I don't even care to make it better. I'm just gonna put the engine together, and for some magical reason, highly doubt it, that the decompression valve will start working properly. Is it because of the heat cycles, the constant hits of the explosion, that the valve will seat right, the carbon buildup, or whatever magical reason that the decompression valve starts sealing up? I don't know. But at this point I don't know what to do. Basically just turn the engine on and make itself work out. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna work like this isn't happening, that my leak test was successful, because at this point we cannot stall anymore, we cannot wait anymore. Let's just put it back together. So first up, let's start with the electrical system, our spark. Let's put that back in. Let's see, how does this sit? Let's put the electrical wires back in its place. Let's get these rubber grommets seated correctly. That's one. There it is. A little bit tougher than I expected. Now, let's put in our bolts. Small bit of Loctite. And our ignition system is back in there. Now let's put in our keyway. A little bit of blue Loctite in the slot, just for good measure, so it acts a little bit like glue. Now let's get our flywheel. Put a little bit of Loctite on the slanted part. I do this because when I first assembled the engine 10 years ago, the keyway broke off and the flywheel started slipping. That's pretty much on there. Now get the clutch housing. Get this on there just to apply some pressure. So the engine is back together. The flywheel is on there, secure with Loctite. The clutch the cooling system, which is very important. I once ran a bike without the cooling system or the shrouds for the cooling system, and the bike overheated, it stalled, it wasn't fun. So these plastics are very necessary. So we are ready to put it into the bike, you think? No, we are not. We still need to address the fuel system. I didn't do anything to the fuel system. I need to clean out the tank. I need to install a fuel filter. I need to install new fuel lines that I got from jmpbparts.com to make sure this engine receives clean fuel. Now I'm gonna do that next week because I have to build a bracket for the fuel filter because it's not standard for a Ciao to have a fuel filter. There's filtration where the fuel tap is inside of the tank but not outside, and I want to see how clean my fuel is if I run out of fuel or whatever. I got clear fuel line also so I can see the fuel running. Despite everything that is wrong with this engine right now, I mean the decompression valve doesn't seal up. It is pretty annoying. This bike will run as it is with the new cylinder head, new crankshaft, new spark plug gap, the new fuel filter that I'm gonna install. Everything is ready to put back together. Also for the new exhaust, I got some tools to put it on there that it doesn't leak anymore. I want this engine to be as good as possible to make it run again, to finish that project, because I'm pretty tired of the progress that I made on this engine and on the bike. I want it to be a little bit further than I want it to be. Actually, I want it to be completed, but yeah, that's how it goes. We got it back together and we're gonna make it run again. So that is gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. And if you're not already subscribed yet, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.